Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Gaming Quitte, the most delicious Quitte of them all, and today we're taking a look at the Fire Emblem Heroes collab units which are reappearing on the new Summon Showcase. This is kinda part 2 of my previous video where I talk about Marth, Veronica and Chrom. In this video we take a look at Tiki, Chrom and Peony. Reminder, these units are all limited, so try to pick them up now on this banner if you want them. Let's take a look at Chrom first, who is still one of my favorite characters to nuke enemies with. He is, as Marth is, a sword unit. Chrom's kit has a completely different focus though. With his first skill, Exalted Sword, he deals one hit of 562% damage and it gives him one stack of Flames of Awakening. This buff can stack up to 3 times and will be used when Chrom uses his second skill. Chrom not only has this unique buff, but also a unique skill reservoir, which fills up while attacking the enemy. This also comes into play on his second skill, Ether. So depending on how many stacks of Flames of Awakening you have, and how high the level on your skill reservoir is, Ether can become much stronger. It deals 2 hits of flame damage and restores HP equal to 3% of damage inflicted to the enemy. This caps at 15% of Chrom's own HP. This skill deals more damage if the enemy has an affliction. Like I said, depending on how many stacks you have, the skill gets stronger. It starts out as a possible 292% damage and 350% damage on afflicted foes with 1 stack. 2 stacks and it deals 651% or 781% damage. 3 stacks but no filled skill reservoir, it deals 1521% damage and 1825% damage on afflicted foes. Now, with 3 Flames of Awakening stacks and a fully filled skill reservoir, Chrom's second skill becomes Awakened Ether, which consumes all stacks and the entire reservoir. Awakened Ether now deals 5186% damage and 6223% on afflicted foes. This is why I love playing Chrom so much. It's so much fun to just blast away at the enemy with this. We will talk about the set parts of his kit in a little bit though. Chrom's co-ability is pretty helpful if you want to make your units a bit more tanky, since it increases the team's HP and defense by 10%. His chain co-ability gives a 8% wind damage reduction whenever a unit burns an enemy for 15 seconds. This does not activate again for 10 seconds. His first ability increases Chrom's strength by 15% when his HP is full, and he is also a sleep res unit. His third ability enables the whole Awakened Ether thing and gives him the unique skill reservoir. Chrom is, in my opinion, a fun character, but there's sadly simply better units out there, since it takes a while until he can deal out 1 strong attack, which also needs someone else on the team to put an affliction on the enemy, since he can't do that himself naturally without any shared skills. And the biggest and saddest news is, he's basically useless in the minion fights, because for some reason the Flames of Awakening buff gets killed by Curse of Nihility, therefore destroying his whole kit. He is still very usable in other content though, in my opinion, and it's so much fun to use him. I recommend putting Doran's skill on Chrom for some really hard damage. I remember hitting 2 million damage on break with Chrom once, and that was so much fun. It was also a while back, and I'm sure by now you can crank up the numbers even further. Now let's talk about how I love to look at my sub count rise, because honestly I'm a stupid monkey that enjoys numbers getting higher. So if you want to release some much needed serotonin in my monkey brain and you also enjoy this content, why not hit that subscribe button to get more content from yours truly. Next up, Peony, the unit that you definitely want in your roster no matter what, simply because she buffs your light units simply by existing. She's a light wand with a fun kit, but an extremely valuable co-ability. Her first skill, Flower of Joy, deals a hit of 417% damage and inflicts paralysis. When the attack hits, a skill shift begins, so when you use Flower of Joy again, it increases Peony's defense by 10% and the entire team's strength by 10% when you use the skill the 3rd time. Her second skill, Gentle Dream, is a shareable skill with a skill cost of 7. It deals 2 hits of 286% and 1 hit of 392% damage. This comes out as 678% damage. If used on paralyzed foes, it deals 1500% damage instead. Gentle Dreams also increases the entire team's strength and attack rate by 10% for 10 seconds. Like I mentioned, her co-ability is amazing. It increases light damage by 20% for the entire team, which is just nuts. Just having her in the backline increases your DPS quite a lot. But even better, she also makes your unit a bit more tanky thanks to her chain ability increasing defense by 6%. So even if you don't want to play Peony, putting her in the backline of your co-op team has a lot of benefits. Her first ability has quite a lot of effects. I will not even try to spell out the name. Adolf something, Lozil for or something like that, I don't know. It gives the entire team a life shield at the start of the fight, equaling to 20% of Peony's max HP. It also gives Peony the Empowering Dreams effect every time she uses her second skill, Gentle Dream. This gives Peony a unique Force Strike, which when used, will fill up 40% of your team partner's first skill, excluding Peony herself. It also increases strength and attack by 10%, defense by 20%, shadow resistance by 5%, and movement speed by 5%. All of this for 10 seconds. So it's a pretty dang helpful support skill. The Empowering Dream effect cannot stack and cannot be activated again for 20 seconds. If you use Gentle Dreams while Empowering Dream is on cooldown, you can still get the effect, but it will not be activated when you use the Force Strike while it's on cooldown. Peony is a Curse Res unit and has a Paralyzed Punisher built into her kit, increasing damage dealt to paralyzed enemies by 30%. So Peony is an amazing support unit, which enables paralyzes while also supporting the team. Sadly, some of her buffs get killed in the minion fight. Her skill shift mechanic doesn't work, and most of the buffs she gives out with her Force Strike also get nullified, except for the SP refill and the shadow resistance. The life shield she gives out at the start of the fight also gets deleted at some point by Curse of Nihility. But in other content she's really amazing. I would say even in the minion she can be played, but don't expect a super fast clear when playing her. But honestly, Peony is beautiful and super cute, so that's all the reason most people need to summon. Including me, because way back when she was released, I had no idea who she is, and I just wanted to have a cute fairy lady on my team. Speaking of cute, Tiki! She's adorable and I will protect her with my life. But I guess she doesn't really need my protection because she's a really good fighter herself. She's a water dagger with unique attack animations and an amazing shapeshift mechanic. So before we talk about her skills, let's talk about her dragon form, which technically isn't a dragon form, but she turns into a dragon. Are you confused yet? Tiki has, like for example the Persona units, Belina or Galanat, a unique Divine Dragon Gauge, which replaces the normal Dragon Gauge. Once it's filled up to a certain point, tapping the gauge lets her transform into her Divine Dragon form. If you tap it again, you go back to small Tiki and a cooldown starts until you can transform again. The gauge itself gets depleted when you are in Divine Dragon form, and damage taken when in Dragon form gets reduced by 50%. The tricky thing with Tiki is that most dragon related worm prints do not work on her, sadly. Cygames has refused to fix this, probably because it's intentional, but it's also still kinda annoying. Now that we have that out of the way, let's take a look at her skills. When she is in small girl mode, her first skill, Divine Wings, deals one hit of 376% damage and raises her Divine Dragon Gauge. When she's transformed, her skill turns into Breath of Fog, which costs a bit more SP but also deals way more damage. It deals 1738% damage and inflicts Frostbite. When you use this skill on a frostbitten enemy, it deals 2259% damage. Her second skill, in small Tiki form, is basically just there to fill up her Divine Dragon Gauge. If used in Dragon form though, it's called Divine Dragon Blow, which deals 1808% damage and 2712% damage on frostbitten enemies. Tiki is not only pretty unique when it comes to her kit, but also has a really good co-ability which increases standard attack damage by 20%. This is not bound to element, so you can use her in the backline on every element when you use a unit which relies on standard attack damage. Her chain co-ability increases Dragon Gauge fill rate by 20% for water units. Tiki is usually a burn res unit, but when in Divine Dragon form she's not faced by any afflictions, therefore making it possible to even use her on off-element content. For example, she's used by a lot of people to auto-play Tartarus. Her third ability gives Tiki a built-in Frostbite Punisher, increasing damage done to frostbitten enemies by 30%. I really love playing as Tiki, especially in the Ayaha and Otoa fight, because you can just ignore everything that's related to afflictions and go brrrr with her dragon form. The only downside that Tiki has is that since she spends most of her time in dragon form, she isn't too good with shared skills because you often don't have much time building them up. This isn't really a big downside in my opinion though. She's extremely good in solo content since unlike Not, she actually transforms into her divine dragon form when you are not controlling her. And with that, we're done talking about the Fire Emblem units which you can get from the Summoning Showcase. Tell me in the comments below if you're going to summon on the banner, and also which other Fire Emblem characters would you like to see in Dragalia Lost. If you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like, and with that said, I will see you in the next video. Bye!